That's my first Slavic hair wig, and I have been wearing it for about a month and a half now. And I would like to give you my first impressions and just tell you, is it really worth it to spend the money for Slavic hair wig? Also, I would like to explain briefly what are the different terms when it comes to the hair texture: Brazilian hair texture, European hair texture, Slavic hair texture, Chinese hair texture. Those are all different terms that mainly refer to the texture of the hair and not the origin of the hair or where the donor is coming from. You might be a bit confused when you want to order a wig online, or even if you go to a studio, you might hear all of those different terms. Those are different terms that mainly refer to the texture of the hair and not to the origin of the hair, because most hair that it's used for the making of wigs and toppers, it's coming from China. So there will be different hair textures in China, of course. It's a huge country, so you might find that people have different hair texture as well. Not all of the hair is very coarse and thick. The denier is not that thick. They might use different techniques in the factories to remove some of the cuticle in order for the denier, that's the thickness of the hair, of the individual hairs, in order for the denier to become a bit finer and not that thick, so it can mimic the texture of, for example, European hair. So those are different terms, and the goal of this video is for you to understand what's the difference and is it really worth it to pay more for example, Slavic hair texture. Because for Slavic hair wig you might pay more than 3,000 US dollars or euros, and that's a lot of money, so you should know, is it really worth it? I ordered this particular wig factory direct. That means that I ordered it directly from the factory with an agent, and that's how I was able to pay less for it. If you would order European hair texture from a wig studio, that might cost you more than 3,000 US dollars or euros. So when I started wearing wigs and toppers, my first wig was a synthetic wig and my first topper was a heat-friendly synthetic. So the denier, it's of heat-friendly synthetics and synthetics. It's a lot thicker. So the hair texture and the whole wig just felt like a wig, didn't feel realistic. I really believe that in the beginning of your journey, European hair texture might benefit you, especially if you have fine hair like me. When you have fine hair yourself and you want to start wearing hair and, especially full time, I think going with at least European hair texture or with Slavic hair texture, it might really help you to make that transition and just feel more comfortable, especially if you would like to go for a topper first. Like if you have androgenetic alopecia, maybe a topper might feel more natural, because here at the back still you can feel at the nape your own hair. At least for me it was the case. It felt a little, and it still feels more natural. If I could wear a topper, I will always go for a topper. Also, if it's European texture, then you might be able to blend it here in front at your hairline a lot easier, because the texture will be similar to your hair texture. But the con is that they tangle more. It will be easier to tangle. It might get frizzy a little bit, but if it always depends on the quality of the hair. In my opinion, the one that I bought, the one that I have on my head at the moment, the hair quality is pretty good. I've washed it once. I've styled it maybe 2 times already. I flew 2 times with it, so I was on a plane. I went through security, all of the things, and I really feel very comfortable with it. I think because the hair, it's finer, it's a lot lighter than Chinese hair, it just feels a little bit more natural. But of course, as I said, you don't need to spend the money for Slavic hair wig. You can always buy Chinese hair that it's like with the European texture. And I will talk briefly about why probably 95% of the hair is coming from China and it's just being advertised as European or Brazilian texture, When it comes to Slavic hair, I have my own opinion because a lot of the ladies in the wig community are claiming that that's not possible, that it's Slavic hair. I have my own theory about that, so I'll share that with you briefly as well. Was it really worth it for me? And for me, it was worth it. So this wig was less than 1,000 euros with the delivery, with the custom fit. It is 18 inches. It should be like natural brunette. The color code is 4-6, so it's 4 and 6 mixed together. I cannot say for sure that it wasn't like they have this process where if it's black hair, they do like a bleach bath. If it's just this bleach bath that is very fast and just strips a few color codes, so it makes it from black a little bit lighter. So this I cannot know for sure. It's advertised that it's 4 and 6 mixed together and it's natural. It has never been dyed or processed, but you cannot know for sure. So for now it feels really good. The knots were bleached. They were slightly over bleached, but I used blue shampoo and I was able to reduce a bit of the brassiness. So it's really easy to put it in a ponytail. I have a few shorts where I show the wig when I received it after I washed it. I also cut some layers into it myself, just to have a little bit more movement here in front, so it feels a little bit lighter and more natural around the face, that it's not so heavy here around the face. I don't pay money anymore for stylists because I don't need to. I cut bangs into my toppers. I cut curtain bangs or face framing layers, or even some layers across the whole wig, because it's not that hard. I just learned that myself and I don't want to go to a stylist and risk that they're not going to cut the wig or the topper as I would like, and then on top of everything the hair is not growing back and I'm spending like 150 euros. It's just not worth it for me. I mean, I haven't found a stylist that is going to cut it the way I want it. I just need a few layers. I just need it to be lighter around the face, and for that I don't need a hairstylist. I learned that myself, and I think I did a pretty good job. So at the moment it's not really styled, but it looks very natural in my opinion. Now I'd like to talk briefly about the different hair textures. So I don't own myself a Brazilian hair texture, but I know that it's a bit thicker so it's between Chinese and European hair texture. According to my information and all the wig ladies from the wig community that I spoke to, all of those textures are coming from China. Even if it's Brazilian hair texture, the possibility that it's actually coming from Brazil is very, very low. They are not coming from Europe, they're not coming from Brazil. They're all different kinds of hair textures that either is Chinese hair that has been processed, so the cuticles have been stripped a bit, or it's just a little bit thinner denier, finer denier that they found from women that just have that hair texture. I have a few wigs that are European hair texture, and for me that works pretty well, but as I said, if you're new to wigs and toppers and your hair yourself, your own hair is very fine, then I would recommend you to look into European hair if you want something that is really close to your own hair texture. It doesn't matter what the term for the hair texture is and what kind of term is being used for the hair texture, whether it's Slavic or Brazilian or European hair texture. For me, the most important is that the hair is good quality. It doesn't really matter what's the origin of the hair. It's important that it's good quality. So even across Europe, you have different kinds of hair textures. So when we go south, for example, Greece, Portugal, Spain, Turkey, then there you're going to find women with really thick hair. Even if it's a European country, those southern European countries, the denier of the hair, it's a lot thicker. I've worked in tourism for more than 10 years. I've traveled all across Europe. I work with all kinds of people from Europe, from Slavic countries, from northern countries, from southern countries. And I can tell you that, and I've always been very observant about hair because I always loved hair and my hair was really shitty. So I was really always fascinated by hair, and that was just my thing, just to look at different hair textures and women with beautiful hair. This was always my thing. So I can tell you for sure that most of those southern European countries, for example, Greece or Portugal, Spain, Turkey, even though a small part of Turkey is in Europe, technically, but still, the women in those countries, they have really thick ponytails and just thicker denier. When you say European hair, what does that mean? Does it mean somebody from Norway? I don't think so. And the norther we go, the hair texture gets finer. For example, in Germany, people have most of the women have very fine hair. If it's somebody from Norway, from Sweden, their hair is lighter and the denier is finer. Of course, there are exceptions everywhere, but as a general observation of mine, I've seen many people from northern countries as well. Just their texture is totally different, right? And when we're talking about Slavic hair, those are mostly ex-Soviet countries. That means from the Soviet Union. Those are all Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, etc., etc. When we're talking about Slavic hair, the origin of the hair should be coming from one of those countries. There are also southern Eastern European countries, for example, Bulgaria and ex-Yugoslavian countries. From ex-Yugoslavia, that's all Serbia, Macedonia, Bosnia, so on and so forth. So from ex-Yugoslavia and Bulgaria, those are Southeast European countries with Slavic people. So those are all people with Slavic origin, so to say. Then you have Central Europe, which is, let me give you a short geography lesson. So you have the Slavic countries in Central Europe, for example, Czech Republic and Poland. When you say Slavic hair, it's a very, very general term. In my opinion, I think that most Slavic hair is coming from Russia or from Ukraine. Now we know what's going on in Ukraine. I think that it is very possible that women have to sell their hair there. I mean, it's really bad. It is very bad, but it is the reality of buying a wig made from human hair. The hair has to come from somewhere. Hopefully those women were paid fairly, but we never could know that, right? And also there is no way of knowing if the hair is truly Slavic hair. After the hair has been cut off, you cannot really make a DNA test of the hair and know what's the origin of the hair. So this is truly my theory. I cannot prove that, but I really think that if the hair is truly Slavic, which is very possible, it came either from Ukraine or from Russia. And it is very possible that there are many women that can barely get by in those countries and they could potentially sell their hair. That might be a bit controversial, but this is just my personal opinion. When you see Russian tourists, those are probably 1% of the Russians. There are many Russians, a huge amount of Russians, and huge percentage of the people in Russia cannot afford to travel, so you cannot really even see them. And that's the biggest country on the planet. At least in my opinion, I really think that in most of the Slavic hair that has been advertised as Slavic hair is actually coming from Russia. It's Russian hair. We cannot prove that. This is just what is being advertised. Of course, there's a lot of scams in this industry. A lot of the hair has been just advertised as European, but or with as Slavic hair, but it's not. When you're buying a wig or a topper, we should really find a vendor or a wig studio that you really trust, and hope that they have the best intentions in mind, and they have checked the hair before it has been made into a wig or a topper, and you trust them that they have the expertise to know that the hair is really good quality and the texture is very similar to, for example, Slavic hair. I really enjoy this a bit finer texture. Also, the hair is very silky, very soft, and I kind of enjoy that feeling because my own hair is very fine. Good quality Slavic hair will be something that will be the closest to my hair texture. Anyways, let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments, have you tried Slavic hair? Have you tried European hair? What do you think about all of those terms? If you have any more questions, please drop them in the comments below. I will be happy to help you to answer all of your questions. I have a few other short videos on this particular wig. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.